Hi again, everybody. With Bob Lobel, I am Mike Lynch, and welcome you all into UnAnchored Boston. We are heading into championship game week. The AFC Championship, the Patriots and the Broncos. You know the story, you know the drill. They're out in Denver, and Bob and I are here to guide you along the way. And as always, we are brought to you by Cold Springs RV, your destination for all things camping. And where? Glad you asked. We're in New Hampshire, of course. And by the great George Gray, the big wheel we call him, 250 years old, celebrating our nation's birthday in George Gray's Lexington Toyota, 409 Mass Ave in Lexington. Well, here we go. What are you going to say, Bob? Back in September, if any of us suggested that we'd be in this position right now, we'd be laughed out of town. And here we are now with the break of all breaks with the quarterback, no pun intended, Bo Nix with a broken bone on his ankle. And what looks like, on paper, a green light into the Super Bowl.
It does, Mike. They're 4.5-point favorites, which is shocking to me. I mean, they're bigger favorites than Seattle is over the Rams. And everything just seems to be going their way. It's just one of those flows that it just keeps going their way. You know, whether it's Herbert or whether it's C.J. Stroud or whether it's Jarrett Stidham. Just everything seems to be going their way.
It's almost like when Shaughnessy used to talk about the tomato cans all lined up, and everything would always break the Patriots' way. And they're back again. They had two quarterbacks who couldn't play outdoors in the cold, and they were just lost. And now they get Bo Nix with a fractured ankle and Jarrett Stidham, who the Patriots thought so little of. They went out and signed Cam Newton instead of using Jarrett Stidham.
And what's really interesting is that when McDaniels left the Patriots, took the job in Las Vegas, Stidham went with him. So McDaniels must have some kind of confidence in Jarrett Stidham, but they certainly know him. They know all about him, and they know what he can do and what he can't do. But he hasn't thrown a football in 2 years in a National Football League game. So I don't know. It's like things just break for the Patriots. As I said, the 4.5-point favorites, there's nothing in my mind that thinks that they're going to lose to the Denver Broncos. I mean, I think it's almost as if they got an automatic ticket to the Super Bowl, which is just incredible.
And they could wind up playing against the guy who saw ghosts against the Patriots on a Monday night game when he played for the New York Jets.
That's right. Right. I mean, it's like, I don't know what you think, but I can't imagine them losing to Denver this weekend.
I can't either. And I think the spread opened at 5.5. I think it started at 5.5. It's come down to 4.5 right now. But
that's a lot.
I fear nothing about this team, and I fear nothing about this game.
I mean, it felt different if it was Bo Nix, but because they've done so many great things out in Denver this year. I just can't imagine what Sean Payton's going to come up with. I know he's expressed great confidence in Stidham, but what else are you going to do? What options do you have but to tell your backup quarterback you're going to be great?
Well, they're going to try to run the ball an awful lot, obviously. Not put Stidham in situations where he's going to have to do things he's not capable of doing. But this Patriots defense they're playing like gangbusters. Beginning of the year was Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Who are these guys? And now they've become household names. I mean, young kids are going out and getting booty jerseys, shake your booty, and there's guys that's just playing with reckless abandon, and the defense has kept them in the games. And the quarterback, who was a little sloppy last week, can come up with a fumble, and then one play later can throw a seed right to Stephon Diggs, a little bread box, but this size to get it right in. The pass to Shake Your Booty for the touchdown was perfect, and he's unflustered. No matter what happens around him, he's still the voice and the person of calm and the person of reason.
It's true. The way, a lot of people couldn't come back with 4 fumbles,
Right?
And deliver. But right,
like C.J. Stroud couldn't come back.
Right. That was. If I was a Texan fan, I'd be apoplectic about his performance.
I couldn't agree more, and I'm not the least bit surprised. I felt that way going in. Same thing with what's his name, Herbert, with the week before with the Chargers. These guys got rattled. They couldn't handle the crowd. They couldn't handle the cold. They couldn't handle the precipitation. And now we're going out there. I don't exactly know what the weather's going to be on Sunday, but it's normally this time of year, it's about 60 degrees in Denver. And that should play right into the Patriots' hands.
Yeah. The only question I have is that I know Vrabel's done a great job with the Patriots in every sense of the word, but Sean Payton's a pretty good coach too.
Damn good coach. And these guys prepare for these situations all season long.
Well, he's going to find a way. He's not going to roll over and play dead. He's going to make the Patriots beat him. But I mean, the 2 games the Patriots had, they didn't exactly roll over the opposition. They managed to hang on, and do the right things at the right time. But
one of the games they didn't allow a touchdown. They was 16 at what against the Chargers, and against C.J. Stroud, that game was never ever in doubt. At any point, even when the Patriots trailed in that game, never was in doubt.
Who would you have rather played, Buffalo or Denver?
Denver, without question, hands down. And I was a little worried when the seedings before the regular season was going on, and it looked like Buffalo was going to be the 7 seed and the Patriots were going to be the 2 seed. I said, this is what they do not want. They do not want to play Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Anybody else of the other 5 playoff teams, anybody but the Buffalo Bills, and they got that wish to come true as well.
And with so many coaches getting fired, and you're thinking, well, who would be the prototype? Who would be the prototypical coach you'd want to hire? And everybody would say Vrabel. If Vrabel was available, anybody would hire him.
Yeah, this coaching carousel is really it's crazy. And now the Miami Dolphins have hired former BC coach Jeff Hafley.
I know that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so he left BC to take the defensive coordinator's job with the Packers, and now the Packers have hired him the Dolphins have hired him as their head coach. You get paid a lot of money. You get paid double figures in the millions, 10, 11, 12 million. But the pressure on NFL coaches is just like anything I've ever seen before. I mean, good coaches, guys like Sean McDermott, John Harbaugh, all getting fired. And these guys are damn good coaches. So what? You don't make the playoffs. Big friggin' deal. Now you got to start from scratch again. And it's a crapshoot, to pick the right guy. Well, who is the right guy?
Yeah, you thought the right guy was in Chicago, and then they end up losing. Ben Johnson I mean, it just seems like the owners are now trigger happy when it comes to coaches. If they don't win, they're going to get fired.
Absolutely. And you think about the who do we got now? The Atlanta Falcons. Should they have taken Belichick? Did they waste a year? With the coach that they have? I don't know. Belichick's probably done in the NFL. He's probably never going to get another job again in the NFL.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. I mean, it was a time when you said if you had Bill Belichick, you'd hire him in a second.
Yep.
But he's like poison.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And a lot of it was his own doing. I mean, he just got to a point where he self-destructed.
So what goes on this week in Boston? People are going crazy over this thing. It's really something. It's it's. I think back to that stupid song we all sang, the New England, the Patriots, and we back in 1980, in '86, I think it was. And kids at schools are having spirit days every day. Every place you go, every place you turn, it's Patriots, Patriots, Patriots. And this has been a football town for a long time. It was a baseball town for pretty much a full century, but now it's a football town.
The only thing I would say is that there's some part of this town that's always a hockey town. That's never going to change. There's always that hockey base that's always going to be there.
Yeah, but it's there and it's unshakable, but it's small compared to the football base.
True.
They're as loyal as anybody at the hockey base. There's no question about it. But
absolutely,
in terms of volume and numbers, I mean, you've got people that don't know the football is the stuff that's blown up that are jumping on the bandwagon, and the bandwagon is enormous. It stretches for miles and miles and miles.
everybody I see is wearing a Patriots shirt or a Patriots hat.
Everybody.
It's unbelievable.
Everybody. One of my grandsons is walking around. He's had a football under his arm for like 2 weeks. I think he sleeps with it. I think he takes a bath with it. He goes to school with it, and he has a hooded sweatshirt and a football under his arm. He says, "I said, what are you doing with the football, Colin?" He says, "Grampy, ball security, ball security."
Fantastic. I got a couple questions I got to ask you.
Go ahead, fire away, Bob. I'm ready.
I'll do the commercial first.
Okay.
Then I'll ask you the questions, okay?
Sure.
But we have new things from all you campers. If you did miss the Boston Camping and RV Expo, I missed it. Did you get there, Mike, to the Boston Camping?
I did not this year, but I know a lot of friends went, and they thought they were blown away.
Yeah, the Boston Camping and RV Expo is pretty remarkable. But if you missed it, don't worry, because the after show is happening this weekend at Cold Springs RV. They'll have the same show specials from the Boston RV Super Show. So it is indeed a super show. So check out the latest in travel trailers, fifth wheels, and motorhomes. Go see the 2026 Winnebago Micro Minis in stock, and so much more. I don't know how you describe a Micro Mini, but I mean, it's a mini Micro Mini.
Way over our head.
True, but that's where you can go to see them at Cold Springs RV. So you can shop now for the best selection of 2026. Tell them Lobel and Lynch sent you. Get to Cold Springs RV, which is in Ware, New Hampshire. I got a location for you now.
Where?
Route 114 in Ware, which
Okay.
is west of Goffstown and north of Tingsboro, with my friends Jackie and Donnie live.
All right.
Ware, New Hampshire, Route 114, ColdSpringsRV.com. My question for you, Mike, all right?
Yep.
I know you usually have questions for me, and I'm sure you do after this. That was a baseball, hockey, basketball, football. Which is the most difficult to officiate? Baseball, hockey, basketball, football. The most difficult to officiate.
I would have to say hockey.
Well, that's interesting. I want to know why you say that.
I think because of the speed of the game. And the officials do a really good job. They're always in great position. But I think that the speed of that game makes it difficult. Football, I think you get bailed out by the replay. You can make a call, but then, you do a replay and you see the guy didn't secure the catch all the way to the ground. Baseball, and what's the other one? Basketball? Yeah, basketball's.
Gotta admit,
I'm gonna go with hockey.
it's a good
Final
question.
answer. Final answer.
Tell me you think it's a good question.
It is a good question, Bob.
I would have taken football. I think there's too much going on. And they miss so much. I know they get bailed out by the replay, but the basic officiating, I think, is the most difficult. But then again, you can say that for basketball too. In the NBA, it's impossible to officiate an NBA game.
It is. I used to do Celtics scrimmages all the time, and
Yeah.
when I would do high school and college games, and my head would be like this. When I did the Celtics scrimmages, my head was like this. I mean, everything was above the rim and above, and you just it was tough. But I still think hockey is the toughest. Let me ask you a question, Bob Lobel. Everyone says Mile High is a tough place to play. In all your years of broadcasting, the Patriots, what did you think was the toughest place to play?
For the Patriots to play?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'd have to say.
Miami was pretty tough. They didn't win there in 20 years. Remember that?
No, it was the Orange Bowl. They finally won in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
Not Mile High Stadium, or not the Mercedes-Benz, whatever. Oh, Hard Rock Stadium.
What about playing in Denver? Did you ever really hear Patriot players complain about the altitude?
No.
No, I never heard it once. Did you?
No, never. And no, they never did. But I guess it's if you're gonna complain about it, it's gonna be in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's much of a factor. It seems to be more of a factor in baseball, where the ball travels about 7% further than it does in.
How'd you come up with 7%?
I heard it on television.
Oh, that must be true, right?
Well, it had to be true. I couldn't make that up. You think I was like some physicist figured out 7%?
Yeah. But it's funny. Some coaches, will take the team out to Denver an extra day or two in advance. And the other school of thought is if you're out there, for a couple of, if the smallest, the least amount of time you spend there, the least effect it can have on your your wind and your everything else. I think if you arrive on Saturday and play on Sunday and get the hell out of town, you're in and out before the altitude even knows what to do with you. I used to run out there a lot, and I always run into, every time I went out for a run, I'd run into Dante Scarnecchia. And, we'd stop and we'd chat, and I'd say, does the altitude bother you out here at all? He says, not at the least. He says, I always run like 2 miles and I do it in such and such a time, and I'm right on schedule. I said, me too. I said, I'm waiting for it to happen. I'm waiting for it to be, sucking wind going around the corner. Now I know we're not playing a football game, but just out for a casual, 2 mile jog. I bet I saw him 5 or 6 times, because it seemed like the Patriots played there every single year. If it was either a playoff game or a Monday night football game, and so his thing was get in, play, get out before the altitude bothers you. So we'll see on Sunday afternoon.
I think the altitude is more of an effect on a moving object, like a baseball or a golf ball.
Yeah, good point.
I think that's where the thin air makes a difference.
Yeah.
I think on performing, I don't think it'll be a problem at all for the Patriots. I don't think that'd be the least of their problems.
Yeah, I agree. So who comes up big for the Patriots? Give me somebody who comes up big, huh?
Drake May comes up big for the Patriots.
You think so?
I think so. I mean, I just cannot see them losing this game. I see them going into the Super Bowl against Seattle.
I do too. Watch out for the Rams.
Of course, but I think Seattle's a better football team.
Wasn't that a great doubleheader on Sunday? Both games played in snowy conditions and cold conditions. Oh, that was fantastic.
It was. I'm trying to think. Seattle's a 3-point favorite. Patriots are 4.5-point favorites. I just go figure that out. It must be the Stidham factor. That's all I can think of.
Without question. You don't have. I mean, it's not like you have a guy that played a lot of quarterback this year. He hasn't played since 2023. At the end of the season, that's a long time to not take a snap in an NFL game.
So they drafted him basically to take the place of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
That's why they drafted him, but he just never came through. I don't know what the deal was. I don't even remember him playing or remember him as a quarterback for them ever.
No, he did. And he's from Auburn, and they wound up ditching him and signing Cam Newton from Auburn.
Right.
And Cam Newton was a disaster. Horrible. I mean, just a horrible choice.
I suppose they could have made some. I just can't figure out when Josh McDaniels went to Las Vegas, he brought Stidham with him. So he must have thought something was right with Stidham.
Yeah. So who was your surprise player this year on the Patriots? Who has absolutely stunned you with his performance, either on offense? Let's go each side of the ball. Offensive side of the defensive side of the ball first. Who?
Well, I mean, the cornerback was always special. So, on the defensive side of the ball, I don't know who to pick, because the two defensive backs have been really superior.
Yeah.
I mean, those would be the two. The offensive side of the ball, I would Trayvon Henderson. I thought would have been the biggest surprise to me.
Yeah, right out of the chute, the opening kickoff in the preseason, he runs it back for a touchdown.
What about you?
I would have to say the what's his name, the 25, the defensive back's interception for a touchdown. He's my defensive surprise, and my offensive surprise is Shake Your Booty. I knew Diggs was good. I knew Hunter Henry was a good tight end, but Booty was my surprise, because he's spent money every time any ball is thrown in his direction. He's money, and I found out today that he has a dog named Bruin, after the Boston Bruins. So that's pretty cool that a guy would name his dog Bruin.
Yeah, better than Booty.
Shake your booty.
Yeah, it's good. I mean,
Right.
I think Josh McDaniels has done an amazing job this year.
Unbelievable. How about Vrabel cutting? He went to hug somebody the other day and forgot he didn't have a face mask on. He cut his lip.
I know.
Williams, I think it was, and Jim Whalen had to come up with a gauze pad and dab his lip. It's pretty good. He's I don't know who's going to get hurt first, Vrabel or Drake May. Who's going to get hurt first?
Well, Vrabel puts himself in a position where he gets hurt. But you know what? He's been amazing. He wasn't this good in Tennessee. I mean, he might have been as good in Tennessee, but I don't know what transformed him. But he's a different kind of cat. He's a different kind of guy. And he does everything right. He hugs his players. Everybody's out injured. He goes out and he's just a player's coach. He's just unbelievable. And
He's an Ohio guy.
Yeah, Akron, Ohio.
Yeah.
You sound surprised.
So give me a score for Sunday afternoon.
I'd say 24-17 Patriots.
I'm going to go 24-10. I'm not going to. They will not score more than 10 points. They'll get a field goal, and I think the touchdown's going to come late. I think it will be 24-3 late in the game, and they score 24-10. That's all she wrote, and then we're on to Santa Clara.
It'd be unbelievable. That to me is that's fantasy world. To think that they would go to the Super Bowl.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
I've had one guy tell me at the beginning of the season they were going to win 10 games, and I said, you're crazy. You want to stick with 10, you can stick with 10, but no more than 8, maybe 7. And then he told me they're going to go to the Super Bowl. Honest to God.
Really?
2 months ago, he says this team's going to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Same guy. So I think they got a better chance of going to the Super Bowl than not. That's.
Oh, I'm already in, and book your tickets right now. If I'm still working, tickets are booked. The news director was biting their teeth, going, "Well, are you sure about that?" And I said, "I am locked, dead sure, because buy the tickets now. It's going to cost you about $400 round trip. As soon as they win, it's going to cost you $4,000 round trip." And I've had more debates with news directors over the years. It's just get the tickets. Well, what if they're refundable? I said, "Yeah, we know somebody who knows somebody at Delta or whatever." But I said, "Go for it," and it always worked out in our favor. I went on the limb, but pretty much you had a feeling going into almost every AFC championship game that they were going to win, or in an AFC championship. I had a feeling they were going to lose out in Denver to Peyton Manning. I wasn't confident about that. And one year I was not confident against the Baltimore Ravens, but pretty much every single AFC championship game I thought was a lock. They were going.
I know. I agree with you 100%, but I just cannot see them being 4.5-point favorites. That's a lot.
Imagine if they were home, they might be 8 or 9 point favorites.
I mean, that tells you something. Well, I think we're really lucky. We're very fortunate to have this going on right now because there's a lot of teams firing their coaches, sitting back and wishing they were in this position, and nobody even paying attention to the Patriots. Even through the playoffs, first round of the playoffs, the Patriots were an afterthought.
Yeah.
Nobody even talked about him. Nobody even expected anything out of him. But all of a sudden, they're a team to be reckoned with.
And you're right, and everything is going their way. I mean, they couldn't ask for a better first-round opponent than the Chargers. They couldn't have asked for a better second-round opponent than C.J. Stroud and the.
He was awful.
He's horrible. He's horrible. If I was a Houston fan, I'd be concerned that I'm looking at the future in him, and I don't see anything there. I'm sorry.
Well,
all right. Let me get this spot in for our good pal George Gray.
Do it.
You know, if you're thinking about a new vehicle, go with Lobel and Lynch. Always go and have gone for years. We go and we visit our good friend George Gray at George Gray's Lexington Toyota. We've been customers for years because we know that George Gray will treat you right. They're family-owned and operated dealership that we trust and you can trust as well. Go see the great George Gray, the big wheel we call him, at George Gray's Lexington Toyota, 409 Mass Ave in Lexington, just steps away from the Minuteman statue on Lexington Green, and it's celebrating the 250th year of American independence. And George Gray, I think he was there when they had the Battle of Lexington. I think he was he?
Pretty sure he dresses like him.
He does. His clothes are, well, yeah.
I got to ask you another question.
Fire away. I'm all ears, Bub.
Well, these are two other questions besides football.
Okay.
Starting off with the Red Sox and the Flotsam, the Flotsam and Jetsam they're signing. Who are these guys that they're signing, and why are they doing this?
It reminds me of the Rafael Devers signing after they lost Mookie Betts, after they lost Sander Bogarts. Whoops, we better do something. We better sign somebody right away. So they dumped, all that money into what's his name at third base. Who's gone now. And I think, to me, it's the same knee-jerk reaction that they had then that they're having right now. They were the last team in Major League Baseball to sign a free agent. And, this is too bad because I think a lot of people came around to this Red Sox side last year. They had a likable team. They made the postseason. And they said, okay, that the ownership got the message. But now we're right back to square one. They've become irrelevant thanks to the Patriots. And if the Patriots go to the Super Bowl and, God forbid, win, we're looking at mid-February parade, and spring training starts on February 10th, and there'll be an afterthought. All of a sudden, we'll be talking about the draft, and we'll be talking about, the next year for the Patriots. So, they're irrelevant right now.
They did sign Sonny Gray, so it's Crochet and Gray and start to pray. You weren't here when Sonny Siebert was pitching against Vita Blue on a Friday night, and Vita, I think, was 10-0, and Sonny Siebert was 9-1, and the forecast was sunny and blue on Friday night at Fenway Park. That's pretty good.
It was good. I didn't make it up. I was only about 18 years old, but.
And let me ask you this next question.
Fire away, Bob.
It's about the Celtics and Jason Tatum. Do you think, he's had these hour shows in front of the media and everything else, and he's working his way back. The question is, do you think he should come back and play this year?
I don't think so. It's not even a year yet. It would be a year, sometime in May. So it's they're in the hunt. The Pistons are the number one team in the East right now, but I would say as of right now, no. I would just wait until next year.
The question is, will he? I kind of think he will.
Who's it up to? Brad Stevens? Is it up
Well,
to?
I'm sure it's up to Brad Stevens and then Tatum himself
What's the old phrase? Shut him down.
and the doctors. What?
The old phrase. We're going to shut him down.
Yeah, I guess maybe it depends on how they do in the next month or so, and how close they think they're getting to something special. But there's no real reason to play him and risk re-injuring him.
I agree. It's amazing how the Celtics have gone from, dominating team for the next half dozen years to like they're rebuilding. How did that happen so fast?
I don't know. How did Jaylen Brown become as good as he is all of a sudden?
It's only one basketball, and he's touching it a lot more than he did when Tatum was around.
It's true. I say don't play him.
I agree. Couldn't agree more.
Nothing on that. Well, that's a good way to end the show. Just agreement on everything.
It is.
We haven't disagreed on anything.
Yeah, I know. That's not too much fun, is it?
No, it's not.
All right. I'll think up something to really that about you that really irritates me for next week.
We disagreed on the most difficult sport to officiate.
Yeah. I'm going hockey. You're going football.
Yeah, I was going football, and I would say pro basketball.
Speaking of great games, how about that national championship in football? That run by, I mean, you could not script a better story than that Mendoza story with his mom with multiple sclerosis, his dad, his brother, winning the national championship. That play on fourth down where they had fourth and something, and he just flew through the air and just put his body. That was unbelievable.
And then to hear Signetti after the game say how they planned for that play, how they saw that Miami puts that defense up under those circumstances. I mean, that's some serious coaching there.
Yeah, that was something. That was probably one of the more enjoyable. I mean, that is a story for all stories. That Indiana story, 16-0, the Big Ten. I mean, the laughing stock of the Big Ten for a century.
It's such a Bobby Knight school. It was all basketball. It was all Bobby Knight.
Yeah. Did you see in Assembly Hall last night, 17,000 in the basketball court watching the game on TV, going live? Unbelievable.
You know what? It was, to me, the key play last night was a block punt.
No question.
And then the kid that didn't block him, the kid on the outside had a chance to block the guy that blocked the punt and just let him, like a turnstile, just let him go by.
Yep.
Just one little thing like that can change the whole thing. And to me, that one block, non-block, changed the whole complexion of the game.
I just couldn't stand it if the U won. I couldn't stand the Michael Irvins and
Right.
all the.
They almost did. They almost did.
I know. If that game went another 90 seconds, and we might be talking about a different story today.
You got to give Miami credit. I didn't think they were, I know they beat Ohio State and they got to where they were going. And they should, Notre Dame thinks it should have been them and not Miami. But
did you see the end of the pregame show? They had Marcus Freeman on, and Pat McAfee said, "Well, we have the what do you call Indiana? The most famous team in the state of Indiana is playing tonight instead of Notre Dame. It was that was tremendous.
Yeah, it was really true. It was great. It was great. It was a good feeling all the way around.
Yep.
And you had to root for Signetti too. You had to.
Do you love the face? The eyebrows? I
Unbelievable.
mean, tremendous. Tremendous. And what's his name? What's his name? Early in the game, Miami went after Mendoza, and they should have been a flagrant foul and tossed out of the game when the guy came in and he was defenseless, hit him, cut his lip, and Mendoza doesn't complain. He just goes right ahead and.
One more reason why I say football's the hardest game to officiate.
Yeah. Yeah, you might be right. There are 22 people you got to keep eyeballs on. The only difference is that I think you have seven officials on the field. So as opposed to hockey, we have 4, and baseball you have 4, and basketball you have 3. So none of them are easy. Let's leave it at that.
Okay, you got it. Good job today.
All right, Bob Lobel, thank you. We'll see you next week, and hopefully we'll be talking about a trip to the Super Bowl, and Bob and I can tell you about all the fun trips we had, starting back in '86 when the Patriots played the Bears, and hopefully we're talking about Super Bowl next week. All right, everybody, make sure you follow us on unanchoredboston.com, and you can always find us on YouTube. That's right, YouTube. Just go to YouTube, click it, and there these 2 great-looking faces going to be at you, talking to you every time. See you next week, everybody. Bye-bye.
Wait, can I just mention one thing? That
Sure.
Front Row Sports is on YouTube as well. That you ought to check out Front Row Sports with Mike and Ryan and yours truly.
And Shaughnessy. Yep.
It's pretty good stuff.
Okay. See you then, everybody.
25,000 hits on that.
Beautiful. I love it. Bye-bye.
Adios.